Okay, all right. So now it is being recorded. All right. So assalamualaikum again, and a very good morning, everyone. So welcome back to UHL2422 English for Technical Communication. So in this session, we are going to discuss about your final assessment, which is your assessment 3A and assessment 3B. Okay. And before that, let me share the screen. What you are supposed to do. Hopefully, while you are listening to my explanation regarding the assessment, you can also do the same thing whereby you can go to Kalam, okay, whereby you can go to Kalam, and then you can also have a look at what are the things that we need to do for final assessment. Okay, so now I am sharing my screen with all of you, right? So can you see the screen? I am showing you now the page on Kalam.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Before that, we are now in week 12. Okay, we are now in week 12. Right. So we are supposed to concentrate on the report proposal in this week. Okay, but since that I believe that we have left many things behind. Okay, and I do hope that you have done some background reading, and also you have watched some videos. Okay, that we have prepared regarding recommendation report. And thank you very much for the feedbacks that you have given in our WhatsApp group regarding the differences between feasibility report and recommendation report. And of course, it depends on the situation, whereby if you are looking at coming up with a new project, okay, so most probably you can go for feasibility report, meaning that you are going to look whether it is okay for you to run the project at certain places. Okay, for example, if you are planning to build a new tower, okay, and it is going to be under your supervision, so you're going to create a feasibility report, you and your team, and you're going to look whether it is feasible to conduct the project or not. Okay, you're going to look at all of the possible problems, and you are going to look at all of the possible solution as well. Okay, in this context for recommendation report, okay, let's say you have run the project and somehow you meet with a problem. Okay, let's say the machine that you are using at that moment is not working well, so you have to find a new machine, or you have to use a new machine. Okay, then that is going to be recommendation report, whereby, okay, you're going to make a comparison between two machines, okay, the same features, the same function, but maybe two different machines, two different manufacturers, for example, and then you're going to look at what are the points that you should be taken into consideration when you are going to choose that machine. Okay, right. Now, okay, if you look at week 10, okay, if you look at week 10, okay, please go through all of the notes given here. Okay, all of the notes given here. We also have unit 5 on reports. Okay, this is actually the one of the topics taken from the module, so you can go through this as well. Okay, and for your information, for the final assessment, okay, we have to use the what you call it, point by point approach. Okay, so as you can see, if you click on this one, unit 5 reports, okay, you will have this handout. Sorry, is it? Okay. Oh, sorry. Okay, this is the one. Okay, and then if you go through the notes in the handouts, okay, and the unit 5 reports, okay, you can see two kind of approaches when you are going to write for recommendation report. One is whole to whole approach, and the other one is point by point approach. Okay, right. For the assessment, you are required to use only point by point approach, not whole to whole approach. Okay, because why? This is going to be quite confusing if you are using whole to whole approach, because, okay, let's say you have 3 different models, okay, to suggest or to give the recommendation to the team or to the superior. Okay, so you're going to talk about model A entirely at the first part, and then you go to model B, and then you go to model C. So this is the approach being used under hole-to-hole method. Okay, compared to if you use point-by-point approach, okay, it's going to be a bit better, easier, clearer. Okay, because as you can see over here, you are looking at all of the criteria that you should take into consideration when you're going to give the recommendation or when you're going to buy a new machine, for instance. Okay, right. For example, you can see over here, the first point is looking at the cost. Okay, next on the function, then the special features, after that the warranties, and lastly on the documentation. Okay, and then when you are looking at the cost of the three different machines, okay, so you just put it into the point of cost, and then you're going to compare the model A, model B, and model C, for example. So this is easier compared to hole approach. And therefore, for your final assessment, okay, you have to use the point by point approach. Okay, we're going to look at the sample of the question paper afterwards so that you can have a clearer picture. Okay, so you can go through the notes as well. Okay, and then after that, we have also uploaded videos, okay, instructional videos on recommendation report, okay, memorandum format and introduction. What does it mean by memorandum format? Okay, what you're supposed to look and prepare for memorandum format. Okay, we're going to look at the sample of it afterwards as well. Okay, we also have uploaded the instructional video on statement of requirements. What are the things that you need to put in the what do you call it, the point by point approach. Okay, and then in terms of discussion, what you should discuss. Okay, so you have recommended on certain parts. Okay, let's say there are two models, A and B, right? And then you have given the statement of requirements for each of the model. So what you should look for. Okay, for example, the company has certain budget. Okay, and then they are looking at certain product which is capable of doing certain things and such. So you have to do this. Plus, can I pause for a while? Okay, I need to pause for a while. Sorry. Okay, right. So for statement of requirements, it depends on the company itself. Okay. So for the final assessment, all right, you can have a look at the scenarios. There will be different scenarios there. Okay, and then from each of the scenarios, there will be certain requirements that you have to meet or you have to follow. Okay. For example, number one, okay, your company is having certain budget to buy this product, for example. So you have to look at that particular requirement. Then what kind of machine or what kind of solution that they are looking for. So that will be another requirement. Okay, and then you go to the discussion. So when it comes to the discussion, so you're going to discuss in detail what is the problem. Okay, what is the possible solution, and then how to achieve or how to meet that possible solution. Okay, so in this context, maybe you are going to propose two machines. Okay, and it goes to the next point over here, which is on the recommendation. Okay, right. So we have the sample of recommendation report here. So you can click on it. All right. So basically, this is the kind of memorandum format. This is the similar thing that you are going to do. Okay, so this is a sample of recommendation of new two-color printing press. Okay, all right. So you have to write it like this: technical memorandum. Okay, to whom it is meant to. Okay, president of operation team. Okay, and from in this context is going to be you. Okay, and then the date, and then the subject: recommendation for purchase of a new two-color printing press. Okay, right. Next, you are going to have the introduction. So in the introduction, you're going to write about background of current situation. So in the background of current situation, you are going to highlight what is going on at this moment. I mean, okay, but not highlighting on the problem. No. Okay, so you're just going to explain what is going on at the problem? I mean, okay, at the workplace, right, you have this machine, okay, and then you have many demands to complete the task and such. So you're going to explain about that kind of thing in the background of current situation. Okay, next you go to 1.2, statement of the problem, and over here you are going to highlight what are the problems, okay, that you are having. Okay, for example, okay, the printing machine couldn't meet the demand anymore because it is too old. Okay, it has been like 15 years in service, right? And then it is not capable of meeting the higher demand. Okay, for instance, it can only print maybe like 1,000 pages per day, whereas you receive demand, okay, of 10,000 pages per day. So because of that, you have to drag the time frame, okay, to be completed, for the project to be completed. Okay, right. And then point 1.3, okay, purpose of report, option or alternatives, and points of comparison or criteria. Okay, so over here, you're going to highlight what is the reason you are giving the report. Why? You are suggesting to buy a new printing press or printing machine, for example. Okay, and then you have two options. Okay, over here, as you can see, Roland Press Incorporated and Heidelberg Press Company. So you have two options over that. So in 1.3, you are going to give that kind of information. Okay, you have done your background research, all right, and you are suggesting the company to buy two machine. Okay, you are suggesting the company to buy a machine, and it is from two different companies. So you have to give the proposal to them, which one to choose for. Okay, and then you are going to look at the points of comparison and then the criteria. Okay, right. So in this context, you can look at the last line over here. There are four criteria that we have looked at and taken into consideration. So the first criteria will be the cost, options available, the sheet size and also size and weight of the press. Okay, so four criteria altogether. Okay, so in this context, when it comes to the final assessment, it depends on the scenario that you have chosen. Okay, right. Next, statement of requirements. Okay, so over here, the board of directors has established several criteria for the recommended purchase of a new printing press. First, okay, right, we are talking about the cost, so it should not exceed 550,000. Okay, and then secondly, the new printing press must come with the available options such as ultraviolet dryers, computer control console, and automatic register systems. Okay, right, that is point number 2. Point number 3, the maximum sheet size for the printing press must be 52 inches maximum. Okay, and lastly, should not be more than 6,800 kilograms, and the size must be less than 6,000 square feet. Okay, so statement of requirements goes back to the criteria that you have considered earlier or suggested earlier. Okay, that is for 2.0 statement of requirements. Okay, 3.0 discussion. Okay, when it comes to the discussion, remember point by point approach, not whole to whole approach. Okay, so in this context, this is point by point approach. Okay, number 1, talk about the cost. Okay, so this is how you're supposed to do it. Okay, you have some explanation, all right, and then you make a comparison. Okay, so you have to read carefully over here. All right, you have to read carefully over here in week 11 later on, writing the comparison and what does it mean by the contrasting ideas. Okay, because to compare is actually you are looking at the similarities. Okay, in the sense of maybe the same machine, the same features, the same function, but what are the contrasting ideas? Okay, in the sense of the price, for example. Okay, so you can see over here the cost comparison. Okay, so the base price, all right, and then if you are going to have the additional features being added to the machine like this one, so these are the total amounts that you have to pay. This is the total amount that you have to pay for each of the model. Okay, right. Okay, then options available. All right. Okay, then you can also make a comparison again, point by point approach. Okay, this is table 2. So this is on the options available. So Heidelberg 2 dryers, Roland 1 dryer. Okay, and then the rest. Okay, and then the third point, which is the sheet size. Okay, so you can look over here, the sheet size, and then it is stated here if there are not so many things to be compared, it's only on one certain point, okay, which is over here 52 inches, then you can just write it like this. But if you have several elements, several things that you need to explain or to make a comparison and a contrast for each of the model, so use a table like this. Okay, table 1 and table 2. Okay, but if the criteria that you are looking at is only focusing on one subject, one point, so over here the printing press must be 52 inches, and then you find out that both machine meet the requirement, then you can just write it like this. Okay, then point number 4, size and weight of the press. Okay, so you can have the information being presented in the table like this one, because there are differences. Okay, all right, then you can explain a bit. Okay, you cannot simply put the table there and then without explanation, so you have to explain. You have to explain, okay, in detail. Right, 5,800 square feet, 5,200 square feet, okay, still meet the requirement is 6,000 square feet, okay. But the weight, right, so Heidelberg here, the weight is exceeding the limit, the weight limit, okay, whereby you put 6,800 kilogram, and Roland here meet the weight limit. Okay, all right, then you can write it here. I mean, like, you put it into detail. Okay, next recommendation. Okay, you can put it into table like here, the summary of comparison. So you put it next to each other, so you can see the differences between Heidelberg Speedmaster and Roland 2000 GTO. Okay, as you can see, right, option available, ultraviolet dryers. Okay, Roland offers only one. All right, and then computer control console, Roland didn't offer that. Okay, automatic register system, Heidelberg didn't offer that, but Roland offered that. Sheet size, both of it are the same. Okay, size and weight of press size. Okay, and then the weight itself. Okay, so you are going to give the recommendation at the end of it. So at the end, your team recommend buying the Heidelberg Speedmaster printing press, okay, which meet all of the criteria that you have stated earlier. Though that at one point, okay, over here as you can see, right, the weight exceeded the limit. Okay, so this is the sample, and you can read this on your own afterwards. Okay, right. So you go to week 10. Okay, under week 10, please go through all of the handouts given here together with the instructional video that we have uploaded here, and then you can also read the sample of recommendation report here, as what I have shared with you just now. Okay, right. And the final product of your recommendation report is supposed to be like this, the final product. Okay, right. Next, for week 11, right, we have the writing the comparison and writing the similarities and differences. Okay, so you go through this, right? So you can do the exercises on your own. Okay, no marks will be given here, but if you need the answers, okay, you can always ask me, right? And then, okay, so this is a sample recommendation report topic proposal sample. Okay, so I'm just going to show it with you. Okay, this is the sample, and over here it contains the background, purpose and statement of problem, alternatives and points of comparison, and statement of requirements. So this is the sample written in the memorandum format. Okay, written in a memorandum format. All right. So recommendation for purchase of a brand new pickup trucks. Okay. So statement of the problem and purpose of the report stated here. Okay, what are the alternatives? Okay, it's either Toyota Hilux or Mitsubishi Triton. So you're going to look at 4 criteria over here: the price, safety features, specification, and engine capacity. Okay, statement of requirements. Okay, the limitation between the budget and such. So this is example of a proposal. Okay, and this is what you are going to do as well for this week. Okay, so you need to prepare a proposal. Okay, so how to do it, I'm going to explain about it afterwards. Okay, and we also have this e-learning resource on recommendation report. Okay, before we look at the final assessment, the question paper, okay, if you go to week 12 over here, you have the recommendation report topic approval template. Okay, so you can click it and it brings you to this one. Okay, so this is for the topic approval. So each group, the final assessment is going to be a group work. Okay, right? Each group, this is what you are supposed to prepare for the proposal. Okay, right? So over here, there are certain scenarios. Okay, we're going to have a look at the scenarios afterwards. Okay, so you need to circle the scenario that you have chosen. And for your information, no group will be doing the same scenario in the final assessment. Okay, let's say there are 10 scenarios, so none of the group will be doing the same scenario. Okay, because we have prepared enough scenario for all of you. So you are going to prepare the background of current situation, remember what's going on at this moment, okay, at your workplace, and then you move to the problem. Okay, you are not supposed to mention any of the problem over here, okay, but somehow, okay, if you put the information here, it somehow points towards the problem that you're going to mention here. Okay, and then you are going to mention about the options. Okay, let's say machine number 1 and machine number 2, or option number 1 and option number 2, and then what are the criteria, okay, for of it. Okay, remember it should be 4, not 3, not 2, but must be 4, maximum 4. Okay, and then what are the statement of requirements. Okay, what will be the statement of requirements. Okay, the company is limited to certain budget. Okay, and then the rest, right? And then so you just put it here in a very simple basic form. Okay, criteria number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, option 1, what does it offer and such. Okay, for example, you are looking at the cost. Okay, option 1 is 100,000, option 2 is 250,000. Okay, and then you are looking at the features and such. Okay, so this is the template. So each group, you are going to take this from week 12, okay, and you are supposed to work on it. Right. Okay, class, any questions so far before we look at the question paper?
So far, okay, sir.
Okay, right, great. Okay, so let's have a look at the question paper here. Okay, so you can get the question paper under week 11, okay, in column under week 11. So this is the question paper. All right, so assessment 3, recommendation report, okay, that will be 20%, and digital recommendation presentation 15%. Okay, so you are going to prepare a report, and then after that you are going to record yourself giving a presentation regarding the report. Okay, all right. So I'll skip this CLO. Let's have a look at instructions given here. Complete the 2 tasks set for this assessment. Submit all the required files, document, and videos by June 11, 2021. So it is in week 14. Okay, week 14. Do we have anything in week 14? Okay, no. So as you can see here, the weekly planner. So week 14 will be the submission date for the final assessment. Okay, right. So instruction for students. This assessment requires you to work in groups of 4 or 3 for odd number class. So at this moment, right, we have 30 of you. So I believe that we are going to have like 10 groups, not 7 groups, okay, consisting of 4 in each group, okay, and then the remaining groups are going to be like 2 or maybe 1, no. Okay, so it is a group work. 30 of you, there will be 10 groups altogether. So afterwards in the WhatsApp group, okay, I'm going to put the name list. Okay, so you just need to edit group 1 until group number 10 and who are the team members. Okay, and please state the scenario that you have chosen. Okay, right, number 2 here, it consists of 2 tasks. Task number 1, recommendation report. Okay, so you need to follow the memorandum format as given here, the example. Okay, right, and then task 2, recommendation presentation, 15%. So you have to record yourself giving a presentation in a group, okay, about this final assessment. Okay, so you are required to choose one of the following scenarios and propose a topic for your lecturer's approval in week 12. So we have the scenarios given here, number 1, number 2 until number 10. So because there are 10 groups in this section, okay, because there are 30 of you, so none of you will be doing the same topic, the same scenario. Okay, all right. Okay, so example over here, an issue due to malfunctioning of equipment has occurred at your company's construction site. As a technical consultant team for your company, your manager has requested your team to investigate for solutions to rectify the problem. Present to your company 2 new solutions and recommend the better one. So this is just a scenario. From the scenario, you can create the problem. Okay, and then from the problem itself, okay, you can create your own recommendation. So what is the problem? Okay, for example here, all right, so there is a malfunctioning of equipment. Okay, and you are working at a company's construction site. Okay, your company is working on construction. So most probably it's about civil engineering. Okay, so maybe you can talk about piling machine. Okay, so having a problem with the piling machine, so it is too old. You are giving the recommendation to buy a new one. So you have 2 options, okay, A and B, and then you're going to make a comparison between each. And remember, you need to have 4 criteria, okay, at least 4 criteria. So that will be about scenario number 1. So the same goes to the rest of it. Okay, all right. So your topic should be recommendation report for what is it? Okay, right. So you can read or go through the scenarios on your own. Okay, so this is for task 1, writing recommendation report. Based on your chosen scenario, produce a point by point. Remember, not whole to whole, point by point recommendation report. Provide 4 points of comparison, 4 criteria. Type the report between 5 and 7 pages, excluding the cover page, references, and appendixes. Using Times New Roman font size 12, 1.5 spacing, and include in-text citation using at least 3 references in APA 7th edition. Please, class, okay, it is stated in the question paper, you have to follow the APA 7th edition. Okay, so I have given the link to APA 7th edition. What are the things that you need to follow? Everything, please do so. Okay, right, because you're going to lose mark only on that simple things. Okay, submit your work to Turnitin to avoid any form of plagiarism. 0 marks will be given for work that contains more than 15% in the similarity report. Okay, so over here for point number 4, maybe I'm going to use the same approach that we have done earlier for assessment 1, whereby I'm going to collect all of the recommendation report. Okay, one of you is going to be the class rep, okay, and then collecting all of the similarity report, the recommendation report, and I'm going to upload it to Turnitin, and then I will generate the report, and then I will share with you. Okay, all right, so this is going to be the format. Okay, you can look at it. It's going to be the same as what I have shared with you. Okay, and then task number 2, oral presentation, digital recommendation presentation, individual assessment. Okay, so let's say if you're going to record it in a group, 4 of you or 3 of you, the marks will still be given individually. Okay. Right. So here are the instructions. Record your oral presentation in digital format. Okay. So record your video presentation about your recommendation report. Situate your presentation in an appropriate context based on the chosen scenario. Okay. Specify who you are, who your audience is, and the objective of your presentation. So if you're going to work in a team, okay, let's say you are working in a purchasing team, okay, so you have your own position, okay, 3 of you or 4 of you, okay, in this context there will be 3 of you because there are 10 groups altogether. So you are going to have your own position, right? Maybe senior technician, senior engineer, for example, and such, okay. And then who will be your audience? So who is it is meant for? So if you're going to send it to your maybe like your manager, so make sure that it is meant for him or for her, okay. And what is the objective of your presentation there, okay. Use not more than 10 PowerPoint or Prezi slides, and suggestively not more than 10 words per slide, okay. So in this context, you can use Prezi, you can use PowerPoint, okay. So I just go with PowerPoint. If you're using PowerPoint, make sure it is not more than 10 slides, okay, only 10 slides. So put aside the introduction, it's going to be the first slide, okay, put it aside, and then introduction, 1 page or 1 slide, and then you will have the 10 slides, okay. So the introduction will not be counted, right, whereby in the introduction you're going to put the name, the topic and such, okay, the designation, right, and then the rest of it is going to be the information that I'm going to count on. So altogether there will be like 11 slides. The first one will not be counted because it is the cover page, for instance, okay, right. And for each of the slide there should not be more than 10 words, okay. So you can have the image, the picture, and then it is not more than 10 words for each of the slide. Okay, so let's have a look at group of 3 instead of group of 4, because there are 30 of you and I am expecting 10 groups altogether. Okay, it's going to be only 9 minutes, so it means that 3 minutes for each of the presenters, okay. Right, presenter number 1, introduction, engage the audience, state the purpose of presentation, background requirements, alternatives, and 2 chosen points of comparison, okay. And then over here, so it means that, right, you're going to highlight only on 2 points of comparison rather than 4 for the presentation, okay. But for the report, of course, you need to have 4, but in the presentation you can focus only on 2 out of 4, okay. And then in the body, for the second presenter, engage the audience, present criteria or points of comparison 1 and 2, okay. Only for the presentation, out of 4 you choose only 2, and then provide supporting details. And lastly, the third presenter, you are going to conclude, present the summary and recommendation, and close with an impact. So this is how you're supposed to organize your presentation, okay. Right. Okay, submission guidelines for both tasks. Ensure your task 1 recommendation report consists of the following, okay. A cover page set for the task, okay. The cover page is over here. So this is the cover page, okay. You can edit this cover page, fill in your information, okay. And then the report, okay, a list of references, okay. What does it mean by this? Right, for task 1, okay, you can find the information from other sources, okay, at least 3, right. It is stated here in task 1, okay, right. Type the report between 5 and 7 pages, blah 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 blah, and include in-text citations using at least 3 references in APA 7th edition. Okay, so because you don't have the information about the machines and such, okay, so you're going to find the information from other sources, at least 3, right. So you need to have the list of references, okay, where have you taken the information from, and the list of references should follow the APA 7th edition. And remember, because you need to upload it to Turnitin. Do not just simply copy and paste the information from the other sources. Okay, if it is stated there, right, what are the benefits and such, you have to paraphrase or summarize it. Okay, upload the recommendation report, Turnitin similarity report, and the oral presentation video files to the agreed platform earliest on 7th of June 2021 and latest 11th of June 2021. Okay, in this context, I choose the latest. Okay, 11 June 2021. Right, which is on Friday. Okay, 1 minute class, 1 minute. Okay, all right. So we have chosen the last date, which is the Friday, okay, of week 14 for the submission. All right. Okay, and then number 3, save the files in accordance to these file name formats. Okay, so this is for task 1. All right. Please save it in PDF. Okay, I prefer for you to save it in PDF, not the docx. Okay, because if it is in PDF, okay, all of the information will not be distorted. Okay, it will stay the same like that. Okay, and then task 2, digital recommendation presentation video. Right, my suggestion, please upload it to YouTube, okay, and share the link. All right, you can also submit the, not the raw video, but the one from your own laptop. Okay, upload it to the Google Classroom platform. Okay, so that will be about assessment, task 1 and task 2. Okay, you can have a look at this marking scheme for task 1 and how to score. Okay, right, this is for task 2, and this is on the rubrics. Okay, let's say if you need to get 5, what are you supposed to achieve? You can address the topic clearly and respond effectively to all aspects of the task. Okay, so everything is here in this question paper, which can be downloaded under week 11. Okay, all right. So week 12. So for this week, hopefully in the second meeting, okay, you can just give me this kind of thing. Okay, I'm going to go through it in our second meeting this week, which is on Wednesday or maybe within this week. All right. So we are not going to have a proper second class, okay, but it is more on consultation. So each group, you need to prepare this, okay, for topic approval based on the scenario that you have chosen. Okay, there are 10 scenarios altogether. Okay, none of the group will be doing the same scenario, okay, because there are 10 scenarios. And then hopefully by the second meeting or within this week, okay, before Friday, each group, okay, can each representative from each group can provide me with this kind of information, and then I'm going to go through it, and then I will give my suggestion whether it is approved or not, and then what are the things that you need to put in for the rest of the report itself. Okay, right. So yeah, that's all from me. Any question from the class? Okay, class. Question?
Sir,
Yes, Iqbal.
can we can we book the scenario first? Like we
Okay,
in the
all right.
WhatsApp group.
No. I'm going to prepare the list first. Okay, you go through the scenario, you and your team members. Okay, remember there are 30 of you. So there will be 10 groups altogether. Okay, so you and your team members first. Okay, you go through the scenario and everything. Once I've posted in the WhatsApp group, then you can just update it. Group 1 until group number 10. Who are your team members 1, 2, and 3, and what is the scenario. Okay, you can just edit it there.
Alright, sir. Thank you.
How about the others? Any question, class? This week and next week will be the consultation, basically. So the second meeting will be about the consultation regarding your proposal. So next week is going to be the consultation for the recommendation report itself. So hopefully by the end of next week, okay, I can have all of the recommendation report, the final version. Then I need to upload it to Turnitin. I'm going to generate the similarity index report, and then yours should not be more than 15%. Okay. Question, class? Class, question. Class, question. Are you there?
Yes, yes. I think so far it's okay.
Okay. Muizuddin Hanif, any question?
No, sir. So far, so good.
Okay, Firdaus, any question?
No, sir.
Nurul Shafiqah, any question?
No, sir.
Hamizah, any question?
No, sir.
Okay, Samia Bashahil, any question, Samia? Samia, do you have any question? No, Shahlin, any question? Carol Ilham, any question?
No, sir.
All right. Tan Wei Ling, any question?
No questions.
Okay, great. Shaheen, any question?
Oh, sir.
Okay, Dakshini, any question? Dakshini?
No, sir.
Okay, Siti Aisyah? Okay. Dayang Nur Suhaila? All right, Nadia Mazlan? Lee Pei Moon?
No, sir.
Okay. All right, great. Muhammad Fahmi Shuhaimi?
No, sir.
Okay. Siti Nabila, any question?
No, sir.
Ikmal Shauki?
No, sir.
Okay. Auni Adlan?
No, sir.
Wong Yitian?
No, sir.
Okay. Ahmad Bashiruddin? Ahmad Bashiruddin? Nurmada Tila, any question?
No, sir.
And maybe you are going to be the same person collecting all of the recommendation report again.
Yeah, sure can.
All right, thank you. Shuhada, any question?
Sir.
Okay, Nur Atika, any question?
No, sir.
Sazriana, any question?
No, sir.
Nick Nur Shuhaida, any question?
No question, sir.
All right, great. So everyone, please take a very good care of yourself. Okay, there is a recent case in KK5, right, in UMP. Are you in the campus now?
No, at
Oh,
home.
Yes.
no.
You can put.
For me at home.
Okay, right. So please take a very good care of yourself. The cases are rising every day. Okay, even myself, I am on self quarantine now because I just got back from my hometown, Perak. Okay, attending the funeral. So I am on self quarantine. Okay, no ban at all, but self quarantine, my own initiative to make sure that I didn't bring the virus back and then yeah, cause anyone else to Got it, okay? So at this moment, only me and my wife at the house. My kids are not with me. They are staying with the grandparents, okay? So the same goes to you. Do go out if you only need to do so, okay? At this moment, we have to, yeah, in Kuantan, it is PKPD. I lost count already, PKP, PKPB, PKPP, PKPD and such, but we have to follow the rules, okay? So please take a very good care of yourself. And of course, if you have any problem, okay, feel free to ask me in the WhatsApp group, okay? So I believe that's all for now. I'm going to stop the recording, okay?